So I've been watching this prank known as the 50-50 couple prank, and I want to put my perspective into the hat because here's the deal. Statistically, black couples, as far as being married, is at 30 some odd percent, and in the near future, it's going to be less than that. So whether you have one spouse that pays 100% of the bills, or you share 50-50, are you 80-20, are you 70-30? Whatever the case may be, you need to be working as a team. Each person needs to know how to clean, cook, and know about cars and how to work on them, no matter if you're male or female. And also, if you're paying the expenses with your partner or not, everybody needs to understand what to do if that something happened to that partner who is taking most of the responsibility. You need to know exactly how to access those accounts. You need to be able to access the money that the provider is using to pay these bills, because so many times there's been people, families, who depend on one person, and then something happens to that person, and at the end of the day they have to sell everything in order to live, because that lifestyle that they're accustomed to when they had that person alive is no longer um, attainable because that person is no longer with them. So each person needs to have an idea of how to get access to those bills, how to get access to the money, and continue smoothly that transition so they can continue with that lifestyle. We need to learn group economics where we're supporting one another and not putting all of the stress on one person, because at the end of the day, if something was to happen to that person, where will you be? Will you be able to continue with that lifestyle, or would you have to sell everything and then downsize? Now, the name of the game is that no matter if one person is doing all the responsibility or you're sharing it, somebody or both of you need to be saving. Somebody or both of you need to be investing, starting a business, or at least bringing some form of cash flow in. So if something was to happen, like loss of a job, that you'll be able to continue that lifestyle that you both are accustomed to. Because just depending on that 9 to 5, God forbid, if something was to happen where you're fired, that you can continue as usual and you'll be able to continue with the same type of lifestyle that you've been living the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Okay? Because here's the deal. If you're a black family, you experience segregation, Jim Crow. Your ancestors experienced integration. They experienced government policies that were implemented here in America to stop you from building your wealth, to be prosper. And you have to understand that many people that are coming from other countries didn't have the experience all of that your ancestors have gone through. So when they come here, first of all, they come in with a master's degree or higher, and they're able to compete. And both male and female come here are working together. And if you can't understand that this whole idea, this Western idea of individualism, is a theory that will continue to keep you at the bottom, because even white people don't even believe that theory anymore. And this is probably the reason why they're in third place now and no longer at the top, because a lot of these groups, Asians and those who are coming from India, understand that it's group economics and both people are working and they both are supporting one another and making sure that each one is taking some form of responsibility off the other. So at the end of the day, they're not all stressed out because they have to be able to do everything while the other one is doing other things where they probably are sharing the responsibility and making sure that both are in good health and mentally capable of actually taking care of their family, while we are too busy, black families are taking on that idea of individualism, and we fighting against one another due to this whole theory of Willie Lynch and integration. Because before integration, we were able to actually have businesses and have communities and being able to be entrepreneurs, where they decided to burn these communities down. And now we're trying to figure it out by trying to integrate, where you have other people who are able to assimilate when they come here to America and be able to build wealth and work as a team. And if we don't get it together, we are going to continue being at the bottom of the wealth pole. And I don't know about you, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to build wealth for my family, and hopefully you are trying to build wealth for yours, and not spending time trying to fight against one another and trying to show each other that you are better than one another, where you should be working as a team and making sure that both are well taken care of. And if that person was no longer here, and you continue being able to keep a roof over your head and bills being paid, and you're still growing that wealth that will eventually one day allow for black families to close that wealth gap and be able to be in a place where we can be looked at as an inspiration, as aspiration, and be able to emulate. And one other thing, make sure that you have a will put in place, also a livable trust, because if you don't have a livable trust, you will have to deal with probate, paying fees when you have to go to court due to death, that you can avoid all that and save majority of your money so you can continue moving forward and continue with the rest of your life. And let's not forget about making sure that we have some life insurance as well. And the only life insurance that you actually need to have is term life. Any other insurance that these insurance companies try to sell you is a waste of your time. And if something was to be used as an investment or into a business, that it could eventually be lost. And we have to understand that when it comes to life insurance, this is for your beneficiaries, not to be gambled away in a situation that you think you may be able to prosper from.